All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and get going. We're going to go ahead and get started and start chatting about everything that's going on and what's happening. So thank you very much for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate it, for everybody in all the offices and that kind of stuff. So we're going to start off with our big kind of communal time here where we're kind of go over. I've got a lot of really interesting information to share with everybody. One thing I want to start off with is an issue that we're having kind of, especially on the closing side. And that is we have some pretty serious fraud going on. Not quite as much in Georgia because we are an attorney state, but in several of the other states, there is a lot of fraud going on. And mainly it's vacant seller fraud that's happening in a really big way right now. So there is a ton of fraud going on, and these are all dealing with properties that are vacant. Most of the time, it's a lot of times it's vacant land that's going on right now. And so a lot of times it's vacant, non-owner occupied land, investment property, that kind of thing. And so, you can find these properties. All you gotta do is just go and pull up the tax records. You're looking for somebody that lives in a different state and has property here, kind of thing. They always attack properties that have no mortgages or liens on it, that kind of stuff. And what they do is they reach out to us. And they find a willing realtor, not that we're complicit in the action, but a lot of times we don't know. And so what happens is they come to us and they say, hey, I've got a piece of property that I need to sell. And they will have some sort of most of the time, you're never going to meet these people in person. They like to do everything from a distance. They'll send you over IDs that are really poorly done, photocopies, that kind of stuff. And then what they're going to do is they're going to ask you to sell that property below. They need to move it quickly for cash. And so maybe it's a $100,000 lot. They want to sell it for $40,000. Or they're going to ask you what's the best price in order to move this property right now. And then they get us. And then they fill out a listing. They get a listing agreement done. The whole 9 yards, we go all the way through. And then it really comes down to the attorneys a lot of times to catch this. And that's one of the biggest problems. That's one of the best things about Georgia is we are an attorney state. There's a lot of states that aren't attorney states where they're just settlement companies and things like that, and notary states. So here they have to actually go in and they're gonna have to show their ID and that kind of stuff. But what you don't want to do is go through all that work of marketing the property and doing all that kind of stuff. So you got to watch out for these folks because they are out there. We're seeing more and more of these people. It's always on vacant land. Make sure that you get an ID from them. And they're going to demand everything gets wired. If you can give them any pushback, expect that they'll be kind of rough to deal with, I guess would be a nice way to put it on there. A lot of times they're going to want to use their own notary. Sometimes they'll have a really sloppy done power of attorney, which none of our attorneys will take really sloppily done, right? Power of attorney, sorry, we have attorneys here. So, but just be on guard for that because we are seeing a lot more of this kind of fraud going on right now. And unfortunately, anytime you're dealing with large sums of money, like you have in real estate, we have a lot of people that are in here in our space trying to take advantage of folks. So, because we've had several states where this has happened, and then it's bad juju. So, all right, I want to talk about where we're going right now. What's happening with mortgage rates? You guys happy with mortgage rates? No, mortgage rates have not been our friend. Mortgage rates have not been our friend pretty much for this year for the most part. And so we've seen where they've moved up. But you know what? Guess what? Americans are starting to realize this is what it is, right? And so we're kind of where we're at. Now, that being said, you can actually see that the purchase volume, even though we had a purchase volume higher during COVID and that kind of stuff, purchase volume is still holding really steady. Like if you were to take out 21 and 22, which we keep trying to compare ourselves to, this would seem like a very normal year. And I'm going to show you some more numbers that kind of shows that. And so on the good side, inflation is showing signs of moderation right now, which we really, really need. Unfortunately, the Fed tends to move a little bit slower than we'd like them to. They were slow to notice the inflation coming in, and now they're slow noticing what's really happening with inflation and how it's actually moving down. Fed wants inflation at 2%. We want inflation at 2%. because inflation really does drive mortgage rates. Because inflation drives treasuries, which drives mortgage rates. So here's kind of the bad news. So on here, you can see that the red lines, this is what the Fed does with their federal policy. This is where the Fed raises the federal funds rate. And so just because they raise the federal funds rate doesn't mean that it raises interest rates, but it does, it affects the market, and the markets affect the 10-year treasury, and the 30-year mortgage rates follows the 10-year treasury. Now I'm pointing this out just because, see, what we see here is they keep raising the federal funds rate, and then do you see those gray lines, the vertical lines running through there? Do you know what those represent? Recessions.
Oh, wow.
And so they raise it. Now, we've been talking about having a soft landing, but you can see that generally speaking, the Fed has a very bad track record when it comes to having a soft landing. You'll notice that they raise rates. What happens after they raise rates?
No.
There's a recession. And then they raise rates, and then there's a recession. Then they raise rates, and there's a recession. What do you see them doing right this minute?
Right.
And so are we probably heading into a recession of some kind? I don't think it's going to be massive, but please understand, real estate's already had their recession. Like if you look at property values for the last 7 recessions, only in the one in 2007, 2008 did we actually see property values drop. And so what a recession really does mean is lower interest rates. And would that be good for our market?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely would be good for our market. And so these are some of the chief economists from a lot of the big brains out here. So we got the guy from Navy Federal. This is Lawrence Young from the National Association of Realtors. He's there. Freddie Mac. This is the guy from the Mortgage Bankers Association. And what do you see that they're telling us are going to be happening with rates as the year goes by? Everything. I mean, and so like, I didn't want to come here and just be like, look, rates are going down because I say so. Okay. Like I really do feel that they're going to push us more towards a recession. I'm not getting political. That's not the whole goal here, is to be a political basketball that we throw around. That's not what this is about. But you can see the Fed does not have a real good track record of having soft landings. And so we're probably going to have some sort, it may not even be a recession. Maybe it's a downturn. You couple that with lower inflation, we're going to have better interest rates moving forward throughout the year. And we really do need that. That's going to open up inventory. It's also going to bring a lot more buyers into our market right now. So right now, what's happened with property values this year? Have they gone up or down? Up. But everyone, if y'all remember the beginning of the year, what was everybody saying was going to happen to real estate this year? Oh, it's going to crash. You need to wait for the market. No, buy on the down. Wait for the market to crash. Wait for the market to crash. Is the market crash? No, it hasn't actually. And so you can see that this past month, and these graphs represent both Georgia MLS and Georgia MLS is on the top, FMLS on the bottom. So in Georgia MLS, property values went up by 1.2% in a month, and FMLS property values went up by 2.2%. What do you notice about home sale prices for, say, the last 20 years?
They've gone up.
How about 2006, 2007? I mean, like we all remember those days, but like what do you notice about property values? They always increase, right? Like, when's the best time to buy? 5 years ago. It's always 5 years ago, at least, that kind of thing. And who would not have really wished that they had bought in 2007 right now? Right, we had 54% property value appreciation just in the last 3 years alone. Right, so home prices keep going up, and so when I hear buyers, especially, to say, "I think I'm going to wait," well, then you can buy the same house next year for more money. Right, that's really kind of the position where we're at, because we're not looking, and I'll show you some more information why we're not looking at property values dropping. Now, where's our big price point? Where's the sweet spot right now in existing sales? $250,000 to $500,000. Almost half of all sales are in that price range. Why is that an important number for us to know? That's where the most transactions are. So if you're trying to operate in the place where you're going to have the greatest opportunity for success, it's going to be in that price point. Now, what about active listings? What's going on with our active inventory? Total inventory. Total inventory is down 2% in Georgia MLS. It's down 6.8% in FMLS. And so active listings, and we have more listings or less listings right now? Oh, we have a lot less listings right now. What this graph here shows, when things are in the red, that means that we are selling more houses than we are putting on the market. What have you noticed that's been going on since 2014, just about? A lot. We've been eating up housing stock for years. Like especially coming out of 2007, 2008, like we were making babies, but we weren't building lots, we weren't making houses, that kind of stuff. So we have very low supply. You can see that right now, you can see even as based on a percentage of sales, our immediate sales are much less than a lot of the others. We just don't have enough inventory. Inventory is one of our biggest challenges. Inventory is probably a bigger challenge right now than actually interest rates are, because we don't have enough houses to sell. Now this is our new listings. New listings are, the new properties coming on the market. They're down 22% in Georgia MLS, down 25.8% in FMLS. So we don't have enough inventory. Matter of fact, if you want to look at, this is our inventory levels for 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Look where we sit right now. So we have some of the highest, so we have the highest population group we've ever had in the US. And look at where our inventory level is compared to all the other past years. Residential real estate is based on supply versus demand. Do we have enough supply? No, not at all. So right now we are in a supply constrained market. So you can kind of see where we sit in that as far as total single family residential available inventory every week. And the outlook doesn't look that great for us either. They're projecting for 2023 to end with 15% less listings than we started the year with. So inventory is going to be tight. So do we need to be looking for listings? Yes or yes? Absolutely, we need to look for listings. Yeah, we really do we need more inventory and everything that we can do to get more inventory. Overall days on market, average days on market, 42 days on market. In Georgia MLS, 35 in FMLS. What do you notice about this year versus last year in days on market? Is it up or down? Well, it's up. Well, I mean, it's down from last year in Georgia MLS. FMLS is up a little bit, but still, we're talking 40. I mean, like our days on market, some of the lowest that we've really seen for years. We are maintaining really tight inventory levels. This is where we sit on the number of months of supply as a nation. As nationwide, we're at 2.9 months of standing inventory. We need 6 months of standing inventory to have a balanced market. We're nowhere near that. In Georgia, it's worse. Here, we have 2.3 months of standing inventory. Because our market is like our market has fared better than a lot of other markets across the country. Like if you look down at some markets in Florida, California, New York, that kind of stuff, we're doing really, really good compared to some other markets. We haven't seen any property value declines this year, whereas some markets saw some previously in this year. Not now, but previously. So our pending sales are also going down right now. But it's down. We've been running pending sales down 16%. Is that good? No. Okay. But where were we last year on pending sales? We were down 37% last year, 32%. So we are making the way up. We're also, you're going to see in the next 3 months, the pending sales starts trending up over last year because that's when the drop off happened. And see, a lot of times we listen to the news and what's going on and really think, gosh, it's really bad because we're comparing ourselves to 21 and 22. And how was the real estate market in 2021 and 2022? Nuts. Yeah. It was a dumpster fire, right? I mean, like we were just writing contracts, right? And so, but those weren't normal years. Those were unicorn years that we were looking at. Look at what pending listings actually looks at when you look at it over the last 6 years.
What a unicorn.
When you take out 21, 22, what would you think about the real estate market today then? Like, you didn't have those years at all. What would you think?
Is it all?
That was a pretty good year, right? Things are going pretty good. Why do we think it's a bad year? Oh, yeah, well, but I mean, if you compare it to those numbers, yeah, but we're not in bad shape. That's one thing we got to realize is that we can talk ourselves into destroying our own business if we're not careful. Right? We need to be very conscious of that, because we are still selling a ton of homes. There's still a lot of activity going on. It may not be the same level of activity as we had, but that was not really realistic. And we don't have enough homes. So at the same time, what do you see happening about showing traffic right now? It was really high during those same unicorn years. What's happening with showing traffic now? This is from Showing Time, by the way. What do you notice about activity? So do we have demand for real estate? Yes, we really do. So, the other thing is our pending listings are right now trying to catch up. So we are in the process of catching up to our pending listings right now. All that's going to be happening here over the next several months. You're going to see that. Overall closed sales is down 21%. And so, pending sales is a direct result or leads us into total closed sales. So we were 20, we are going down 17 currently is our pending. We'll keep seeing that number decline till we start hitting a positive number over last year. Now, on the good side, especially on listings, price reductions are back to normal. We had, earlier this year, we had a lot more price reductions than we had, but now we're moved right back into the range of normal when it comes to price reductions. Is that good for our market? Yeah, I mean, we need a healthy market. I want a healthy market on there. So what can we do about it? Like we know that we don't have, we don't have enough inventory. Can you go out and lower interest rates right now? No. What can you do? Can we look at speed? Is speed important to us? I know, well, we care more about speed than ever. You only have 1,440 minutes in a day. You got to make the most out of that. That's all you have, right? 2/3 of your customers, 2/3 of your clients say speed is as important as price. You ever thought about that? Speed's a big deal. A lot of times in real estate, do we just kind of take speed for granted? Because a lot of us do not even think about speed in the real estate world. And we really should, because we all want it. We want, but anytime you're buying anything, what are you concerned about? Is speed something that you're going to pay attention to? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So 64% of our customers say speed and responsiveness are as important as price. So a lot of times we interpret, do we interpret speed as caring? What do you mean? We do. We interpret speed as caring. You ever make a phone call and nobody calls you back? They don't care. Right? How about this lady? She was in an elevator at Amtrak. Hey guys, I'm trapped in an Amtrak elevator at the airport. Help. Is speed important to this lady? Yep. 205 days later. Hey, are you still in the elevator? Would you say that these people care? I mean, would you be like, you know what? I really think Amtrak really cares about me. Yeah. I mean, at this point, she's dead and crusty in the elevator. Hopefully that's not the case. I think it's really ridiculous that they would even answer, 200 days later kind of thing. But like speed's important. Responsiveness is really, really important. It drives retention as well as revenue for us here. 85% of customers say speed and responsiveness is an important factor to their loyalty to a brand. Are we brands? Yes, you are the brand. You may bless us by having a maximum 1 on your name badge, but you are the brand. And so that matters a lot. How responsive and the speed that you deal with our customers and with our clients. So people really care about getting help with a problem, getting an appointment. Do we want more appointments in real estate? Yeah, questions answered, maybe not delivery, but paying for it, finding out information, that kind of stuff. Speed is really important, but speed at all cost is not. Yeah. If you got a really fast tattoo and it said, "It is my life, Bon Jovi," would you be real happy with that tattoo? It was fast. It's not. So in addition to speed, what else do we have to have? Accuracy, completeness. We still need, you still got to do a good job. You can't do a crappy job fast, is what I'm saying. So, and the reason I bring this up is because this is about us doing a better job, but being able to make sure that we are conscious about speed. The real estate world has really forgotten about speed, and the rest of the world is really focused on it. It's a great place for us to stand out with our businesses. So there's a perfect time for all interactions, right? Because they did this huge study and found out that if you're much slower than expected, you aggravate folks. If you're a little bit slower, they're not as aggravated, but still not happy with you. If you're as fast as they're expected, they're pretty much like, meh. Right? No, not what I expected. Nothing impressive. How about if you're a little bit faster than what they expected? That's a big deal. Now, if you're too crazy fast, they'll question you about whether or not you can really do it right. You guys ever eat at a Mexican restaurant? I'm like, I order enchiladas. And I can, by the time they leave the table, he can come back in 30 seconds. I haven't even hit the salsa yet. And I've got a plate that's molten lava hot already there. It makes you kind of wonder what was in those nachos, or what was in those enchiladas, right? Could they really make that fast? How could you possibly do that fast? So, we don't want to be crazy about it, but we do want to be conscious that a little faster than expected is a great way to build business. It's a great way to stand out when we can really look at that. So they said, how do you feel towards a brand or business when they respond to you faster than you expected? Appreciated, valued, and respected. That's a great place for us to be. Yeah. Now, on the other side of things, 60% of customers are disappointed and 30% feel disrespected. You ever reach out to somebody you don't hear back? What's that make you feel like?
They don't care.
Right. So I don't know about y'all, but have you ever logged on to Facebook after 3 or 4 days and noticed that there's a message that you didn't respond to? Yeah. Or those emails, I just didn't feel like looking at my email for the last few days. Are you making? I'm not just being straight up. I'm not sitting here pointing my finger at y'all. I'm being straight up. That's an issue for me too, right? But I think that we need to be conscious about. There's an opportunity for us to look at our business from this point of view. Now, which demographic is speed most important to? Boomers. Yeah, sorry. Now the boomers think it's the millennials, but really it's the boomers is the biggest one.
We don't have much time.
Yeah, that's it. We're not messing around, right? That's it. So what do we want to do? How do we fix this? Well, how can we improve our business when it comes to speed? First thing is look at your business. So let's go into it and understand that our clients have a certain expectation when it comes to speed. So this is their expectation on what clients expect when they reach out to you within 4 hours. They expect that 87% of you responded to a website chat. 3/4 of us have responded to a text message and a phone call messaging. 1 hour is actually not that different because if you look at within an hour, most of your clients expect a response within an hour. Website chat, even more. If somebody logs into your website and hits a chat, it's a big deal. Text message is almost half as well. So generally speaking, we got an hour to get back with folks on a lot of these things. We got to be very conscious about that. Now, however somebody reaches out to us, that's how we should reach back out to them. So if somebody calls you, what should you do? Call them back, right? And so if they text you, text them back. I know I'm kind of bad for somebody text me, I'll just pick up the phone and call them. But 42% of folks are disappointed and 26% are less likely to spend money when you change the method that they contact you. So do we want to do that? No, stay with whichever channel they reach out to you. Let's make sure that we pay attention to that. So you gotta look at your business. How long does it take to find information about you? You know, how can folks get an appointment with you? Have you looked at your business? How can somebody make an appointment with you? Do you have Calendly? You know, what's the process? Because a lot of times we don't even think about this. We think, well, they'll just make an appointment. But if the process is not fast and easy, well, they always do it. How long does it take to get a response to an email or a text or a social media post? How long does it take to go look at houses? You know, because a lot of times, I mean, and I'm not saying don't get folks pre-approved. It's not what I mean at all, right? But a lot of times folks like they want to go look at houses. When do they want to look at houses? Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, exactly. They want to look at houses yesterday. You're exactly right. How long does it take to get pre-approved? Should it take that long? So we need another lender. Schedule an inspection, get questions answered, or helps out with a problem. I hope that you'll take some notes and really think about how long does it take for my business, for my company, for my real estate company to answer these questions, to get back, because your clients are looking at you right now. So a lot of times clients respond and hire the first business. So in this example, a customer reaches out, to 3 painters. One painter calls back in a couple hours. Another painter calls back the next day. Another one calls back 3 or 4 days. Who gets the job? First one, a couple hours, right? Is that any correlation to real estate there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes I've seen agents like, I'll call them later and never call them back. So that really does matter. Not only that, 52% of customers have hired a service or made a purchase solely because they were the first one to respond. And then over half of those are willing to pay more because of speed. So next thing you want to do, what are the 25 most common questions that you get asked? Have you thought about that? Like, can we answer questions before people even ask? Like, what do we have on our websites? Can we go and answer some of those questions on our websites? How about on our social media, YouTube channels, social media posts? Can we answer a lot of those questions so people can find that? Yeah, because it helps a lot if you can answer a question before they ever ask, right? So you can just get out in front of that. We can also answer without an answer. This guy here is Glenn Gorab. He is an oral surgeon. Y'all ever hired an oral surgeon before? No, you hire an oral surgeon when you need one. You basically use whoever, right? Because it's not like you're going to compare, they're going to shop around. Except for they do that for Glenn Gorab. Because every day at the end of the day, his big thing is he reaches out and he calls all of his clients for the next day. You ever got a call from the dentist about your appointment tomorrow? He calls everybody he's going to see the next day. Hey, I just want to talk to you and see if you were you anxious about anything, any questions, anything I can help you with. So I want you to be calm and relaxed when you come in tomorrow. What would you think about that guy? Yeah. So it's about being intentional in how we reach out and how we engage out there. Also, it's all about the telephone. 75% of customers prefer to use the telephone when trying to get in touch with a company. And are you a company? Yes, absolutely. So understanding in the relationship between speed, responsiveness, and revenue, how often you come in the office? How often are you calling into your database? Are you doing pop buys? Are you wearing your name tag out there? Are you doing social media posts every day? Are you texting daily? Are you sending out emails? These are all you being proactive about reaching out into your client base beforehand. This is not waiting on them to call you. This is you calling them. So we also want to make sure that we're setting really clear expectations on here. 83% of customers expect business to be faster, as fast or faster than pre-pandemic. Is real estate as fast or faster than pre-pandemic overall? Depends, right? We can be fast in certain instances, but a lot of times it's still a really, really slow process overall. You know, our customer experience really is the difference between their expectation and the reality. And so what are your expectations for the different parts of the real estate transaction? You know, and is that the same for your clients? I mean, how easy is it to set an appointment with you? How would they know how to set an appointment with you? How about showings? What's the process for showings? Can we do showings fast? How long does that take to set up showing? Like, hey, I want to go see a house. When can that happen? Can it happen quickly? Because they pay more for quick, right? How about inspections, appraisals? How about the attorneys? Since you're here, I'm going to throw you right there. Closings, right? How long does it take to set up and schedule a closing? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to pick on you, right? Because everybody wants a closing Friday at 5 o'clock. We got it. How about open houses? You know, vetting if you're representing a seller, how long does it take to vet those buyers? Make sure that they're legit. How long does it take to submit offers? Because we have a lot of folks who are really, really efficient. We have some folks that will take days to submit offers. And if it takes you days to submit offers, what are you not getting? That house, right? It's gone, right? How long does it take you? How long do contracts take? And this is kind of a double-edged sword to me, because on one hand, like, I love Authentisign, but our clients don't understand what they're signing a lot of times. And so even if you use Authentisign with your clients, make sure that you still take the time to go through those contracts with them over the phone on there. And then we want to try and close any kind of uncertainty gaps that we have, right? You know, that's that difference between what we know about our operation versus what our clients know. And is there a chance for us to stand out? Like when you look at like these companies that have really disrupted their industries, you know, Uber versus taxi, did they change the expectation of folks? I mean, I know, you know, it wasn't that long ago, there wasn't an Uber, right? Now there's an Uber of everything, right? But there wasn't an Uber. And what was our expectation on being able to get a ride? I got a call about 3 hours early, and they're going to get here and it's going to stink and it's going to smell bad. I'm not going to know what they're saying, right? It's going to be hot. Yeah. Weird music, odd smells. How about, but they changed the expectation. Amazon versus like Bed Bath and Beyond, Apple versus IBM, Starbucks, going into Starbucks like going into a gas station, get a cup of coffee. Same process? No. So how about iBuyers versus traditional real estate? I mean, they're in our space, but if you look at what did they look at when it comes to speed in our industry? And there's a lot of folks that choose them just because it's fast. You know, and then what about you versus other agents? You know, have you thought about what makes me stand out? You know, and I'm not one of these that like all realtors are competitors. I don't really feel that. We all have different spheres of influence, that kind of stuff. But you can look at your business and say, how does my business appear in the industry? Why would people reach out to me? What can I do to stand out? What can I do to make more people want to engage with me? We need to look at our industry and look at our business and what we really do, because we do have a chance to do those kind of things. A lot of times, you know, I know that on any business, we're the same way on the brokerage side. A lot of times it's that we do this because this is the way we do it. Right? This is always just how we do it. And is that really the best way to do it? Maybe, or maybe not, right? I mean, like we got to be able to look at that. And now's a great time to look at our business and say, how can we stand out? How can we really shine? So we need to be out there talking about it. We need to be on the phone, in social media, video, emails to your database, text messages out there. Like, can we own time and our clients' time as a message that we really talk about? Because in the real estate world, we don't talk about time. We just say, look, it's going to take months. And is that a great marketing slogan? Hey, I hope you buy a house. I don't know where that'll happen. No, but I mean, like no one's owning the time. when it comes to real estate. No one's paying attention to it. No one's talking about it. And we see what a big deal it is. Right? Like I could be thinking about things and Amazon is going to have it sitting on my front porch. I may not have to order it. It's just going to show up, right? Speed is out there. And we have expectations. Used to be, we thought a couple of days was really good. Then it came, 2 days and then 1 day. Now we want it before we get home. It's true.
Yeah.
And so why can't we look at time when it comes to the real estate transactions? No, we can't speed some things up. We still have to get, we're still going to have to work within certain timeframes, but things that we can control, can we address time? Yeah, I really do think that there's a great opportunity for us to stand out for these things. I mean, when it comes to really focusing on time. So, how much will customers pay to not wait? Will customers pay more to not wait?
19%.
Yeah, almost 20% of folks will pay more to not wait. Like TSA pre-check. That do you any good normally? Yeah, it gets you through faster, but really, what are you paying for? To go in faster. Anybody been trying to check into a hotel early anymore? Oh, you can. What's it going to cost you? And will people gladly pay? Yeah. Well, and look what Open Door did. How long did it take somebody to go see an Open Door house? Oh, they opened up the app, boom, they're in. So, I mean, we got to look at like these are our competitors. They're paying attention to time. We need to be looking at that as well out there. And can we offer fast passes for clients? Because sometimes it's about our systems and it's about how we do things. I mean, it's been a couple of years ago. I sold a house over text almost immediately. Hey, I found a house. Can you take me to go look at it? Looked at it. Sent back the offer. Like it was fast and easy, but it was all about speed. And so we have a chance to offer fast passes with some of our clients. Be ready for that. 49% of customers are less likely to spend money when the brand takes longer to respond, because the other side of this is being slow costs you money. I don't want you to cost you money. I want you to make money, but being slow hurts you. And so let's not be slow. So if we give customers time, they're going to give us more money. And so we need to be focused on time. Answering our phone. There's one I got into business, right? What happens when you get that phone call? You're like, are we guilty of that?
Mm-hmm.
It's an unknown number. So if you don't answer, guess what they're doing? They're calling somebody who is going to answer. Yep. Emphasis on speed, leading with the appointments. Take control of speed. There really is a great opportunity to stand out and to grow your business here. Stand out against a lot. No one else in our industry right now is even thinking about speed. And so I know that there's a lot we can't control in the real estate world, but a lot of times we can look at our processes, our systems, and we can become much faster on our side of things because it's time to win. You know what I mean? Now, I want to jump back into why or how, is there a lot of demand for real estate, right? Because I want you to take that and then look at really what's going on. What do you notice right there?
Millennial.
This is our millennial generation. This is how old they are. What's first time home buyer age?
32.
Right now, for this group. The largest population group we have in the United States is all at first time home buyer age. So what's going to be happening over the next 4 years?
They're gonna be buying.
They're going to be buying houses, right? So do we have a lot of demand? Again, I want you to look at what we just talked about and put all this back into context, because now's the time. Is there a lot of demand for real estate? Yes, there absolutely is. At the same time, we have Americans sitting on huge equity. 40% of all property is owned free and clear. 30% have more than 50% equity. Only 32% have less than 50% equity, but that number is really, I mean, like if you look at how much have like oh, even 30% equity. It's almost 80% of the country. So there's a lot. Our folks have a lot of money sitting in real estate right now. What are the general feelings from our consumers? So this was just conducted on May. And they said, you know, how likely are you to buy a home in the next 6 months? 18% of folks want to buy a home in the next 6 months. And 16% of sellers say they'd like to list their property in the next 6 months. Is this a really good place for us to be? Y'all follow me here, right? Because what I don't want you to do is talk yourself into this idea that the market's trash and that things are going bad and we shouldn't be out here really hustling and knocking them dead, because we have a really good opportunity to do that. New report came out from the Wall Street Journal. So there are 3 million households in the US making over $150,000 and still renting. Why? Right? I mean, what's the path to wealth in the United States? Homeownership. Wealth is tied up in homeownership in the United States. And we got a lot of folks out there that we are missing out on and that we're not talking about this message with. So right now, the inventory places where I see good places to focus on, one's new construction, investors, and then younger owners. Folks that own a home, like folks that have owned a home, I'm sorry, younger sellers is what I'm really trying to say. Investors, I think that the VRBO market, we're seeing where the VRBO market is falling apart right now. So if I went through, I think a great strategy right now would be check out VRBO and Airbnb. Look at those properties that are offering discounts, the one that have high vacancy rates, and then go out and look up those properties and make some inquiries to those sellers and be like, is this working out for you? Would you rather sell? And then new construction. New construction, new residential starts jumped 22% in May. What are we seeing more builders building more of now? A ton of townhomes. Yeah, I mean, absolute ton of townhomes. And is that good or bad? It really is good. Please don't now. Okay, I saw that face. All right. No, but look, I mean, in 2006, 2007, 2005, we started building townhomes and condos. And then the crash happened, right? And what do we have tons of on the market? Townhomes. And so all these townhomes sat out there, and then they all got picked up with it by investors. And so there's still a lot of realtors that when you say townhomes and condos, they go, ew. But when I was first moving in, when I was a first-time buyer 1 million years ago, what was that first-time buyer product? No, it was that 3-1 ranch or 3-1.5 ranch, you know, kind of thing. That was a starter home back then. What's the starter home today? Townhomes and condos. So we got to make sure that we don't let our bias get in our way there, because the builders are building a lot more right now. And we saw the inventory is super tight. So where's one place where we can focus our efforts at? New construction. So you can see that new home monthly inventory, you know, it trends up and down, but this is how many months of standing inventory is out there in new construction. So we have 2.3 months of standing inventory in resident in resale real estate. But I've got 10, 8, 6, 7 months of inventory on new construction. But a lot of agents are still intimidated by new construction. There's some really good opportunities out there to really focus a lot more on new construction right now. So please pay attention to that. So, but this is not the time to go think about it. This is not the time to be passive. We need to be much more interactive, proactive about what we're doing, and to go out and kind of get busy with it here. We need to be talking to homeowners, talking to buyers, talking to sellers. This is a percentage of homeowners who decide to sell their home within 6 months who were inclined to do so after speaking with an agent. 65%. So do you think, when you look at that and you say, maybe should I be calling folks? Yes or yes? 64.5% of homeowners desired to sell their home in 6 months that were spoken to by an agent. We need to be more proactive. Right now, we need more inventory. We need more listings. Pick up the phone. Like we need to be doing this. We need to be very intentional, calling out the sellers, buyers, whole 9 yards, and being much more interactive with our clients out there. So what are we doing on the brokerage side of things? We're starting 2 things. One is we are starting accountability sessions every Monday morning at 9 a.m. in all of our offices. Branch managers are all going to be doing accountability sessions. We're going to come in. We're going to do the backstory real quick. First thing, spend about 15 minutes on doing backstory, catching up about what's going on in the market. Then we're going to go through and set our goals for the week with each other, kind of go back and forth about what the goals are, talk about any of the other goals that we have. And then it's all going to be about, and then we're going to role play, and then we're going to start making phone calls. And then in addition to that, every day, I'm going to encourage you to come into the office and make phone calls. And there's a lot of folks like, well, you know, I can call from home. And can you call from home?
Yeah, but then you have laundry.
Well,
Kitchen.
but see, that's the thing. We tell ourselves, like, you say, you know what, I can this at home, but like, all right, I've been in some of y'all's houses. I've seen what your office looks like. What's your office look like at home? Like, does it have an inch of dust and like computer ain't been turned on in a couple of weeks? And, you know, there's a pile of laundry on the back of the chair. Like, do you have a place where you're going to work? Like that's one of the beauties about the offices is that when you come in here, like you walk in, you're like, place is boring. Guess I may as well work, right? But if I stay at home, what? Like I got the dog needs a bath. I'm gonna mow the grass, and I'm gonna do the floors. And 6 hours later, my house looks amazing. Everything's good. I made a single phone call. So we know making phone calls is a big deal. So I'm going to encourage you to come into the office. We want to try and support you and assist you in those efforts. We want to be here to walk alongside you to help you because we're only successful when you're successful. And so that's really our big goal on that. So I hope that you'll join us. Please take advantage of this. We're here to help you grow. And so I love and appreciate y'all very much. Well, what did I just do? Okay. So congratulations to all of our top salespeople for the company kind of thing. So we're gonna go local here now, and actually in all the offices we're gonna go local and start having our. But I'm gonna still leave this up on the screen. So to all of our top salespeople, congratulations.